Hello, hello, hello. I am relaxing right now with this ocean mother of pearl. It is a beautiful, beautiful mother of pearl that had tumbled through the ocean for a very long time, and then it washed up on the shore among many other mother of pearls and rocks and crystals. This is the human ear that I found. It even has some gold in there. This is so amazing. And purple. It's an amazing, amazing jewelry piece. Very, very, very nice. I would like to form rose gold around it to hold it and then make a pendant with it. Would be nice. This is infinitely valuable and precious. But because there are so many of those, even with gold in it and stuff, because there are so many of these different rocks on the beach and old tumbled shells like this, that's why you would never get any money for it. If you go to a pawn shop, what's this? Hello, can you give me $100,000 for this? And they will say, no, I wouldn't even do this because I love this thing. I wouldn't even want to go to a pawn, P-A-W-N store. I wouldn't want to pawn this off for any money. This is beautiful. This is lovely. This is my gemstone. This has infinite value for me. Infinite value. This is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. The gold in there, amazing. That's truly amazing. So I want to talk about life insurance, which has nothing to do with this rock here. But I'm using the rock for relaxation, particularly when it comes to the subject life insurance. You want to hold on to a lot of rocks. Okay. You want to cling to rocks for your mental health, okay? Because the subject life insurance requires that from us, okay? So why do people get life insurance? This is the first question that would arise out of this. Why? Right? children and young adults, they don't think about these things. They don't ask these questions. I never did. I just didn't make sense, but whatever, I want to party. But now that I'm old, I think about these things. Yeah, you better believe it. Think about life insurance, and I think about psychology. I think about myself. I think about my own existence. I think about art. I think about what people are doing to each other. I wonder why they do this. All of these things, go to war, get life insurance on their wives. And another thing is, why would the wives sign their name under that death insurance? Why would they do this? There's my beautiful artwork. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So why would they do this? They must not be informed, right? On what that means. To sign your name under something like that. You think, oh, my husband, he's in love with me. He cares. He will never murder me. No. He's not greedy. No, he isn't. He is a good Samaritan, right? Wrong. Sorry. Or maybe that doesn't apply to every man, what I'm saying here, right? But to the vast majority of them. Okay, I'm sorry to have to blow the whistle. But it is what it is, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. Okay? Paul would never get a life insurance. That's why I trust him. He'd never get something so ridiculous. We don't have any insurance. We only have the mandatory car insurance that you have to have, which is also a total breach of the US constitutional rights to force someone to buy insurance for something. Yeah, that's really, really wrong. Is that some people don't want insurance. Leave them alone. I don't want insurance. I don't need insurance of any kind. I don't want homeowners insurance. I don't want whatever they're called, like fire insurance. Oh boy. Guess what happens when someone buys fire insurance? They're setting their house on fire and make it look like an accident, right? Yeah, that's what's happening in the world. So why do we still have these things? Because of corruption. Because the insurance industry, now they make a lot of money on selling people ridiculous insurance setups that don't do anything, that just take your money. That's all it does. They want your money. They don't even care if a lot of people misuse that. I wonder why. I wonder maybe the only reason why we even still have law enforcement is only to uncover someone's fraud, like murder or fire, so that then it will then be routed over to the insurance that they signed up with, and then they don't have to pay. Because it was murder. It was arson. Or they burglarized their own house, right? Something like this. Or some relative tripped and fell, and now they're trying to get the insurance company to pay for it. And then they split the money. People do all of these things. No? Let's not be totally naive. That's what insurance is for fraud. See, insurance companies are fraudulent, and the people that buy their insurance papers are also fraudulent and criminal. Okay, so let's be very crystal clear about this. Very crystal clear. So if I was president, I would outlaw all of this. Yes. And that's also why I would never get the chance to be elected. Because they know they can see a good Samaritan coming from 100 miles on the horizon, right? They can see the giant walking slowly towards them. Oh, a Karen. Let's pack up quickly and run. We're not going to let that Karen become president. That would be the end of their industry, right? So now we know why they hate good Samaritans like Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Because Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson and a handful of other good Samaritans like Ingrid Newkirk, Captain Paul Watson, those people are hated by the industries because the industries are pooping into their diapers. That's why, out of fear of them. Right? So now the whaling industry in Japan, they're pooping themselves out of fear, but they're pooping into the ocean, which is totally wrong. Okay. Whaling industry is terrified of Captain Paul Watson because he cannot be bought by anyone. Okay. And by the way, he tried democracy. He tried all of that. He tried it 2 times. Okay. With Greenpeace, they kicked him out of his own organization, and even with Sea Shepherd, they kicked him out. He said he didn't think he would live to see this happening, but he did. Okay. But he had the feeling already that it's just a matter of time until they do, until this happens, right? A developer jumped on the bandwagon, and everyone should have had their red alarm lamp come on. Okay. Someone like Peter Cameo, right, from the Green Party, a developer in the Green Party. I mean, that should ring the bell for everyone, right? I mean, but it doesn't. And because it doesn't, that's why I make videos. For you. So you understand. A developer becoming a member of the Green Party that's there supposed to protect the environment, right? Or better even, the CEO of a logging company becomes a spokesperson for the Green Party. I mean, that's the maximum irony. This is sarcasm life for you. That's it's like, it's a practical joke. That's what that is. And I've seen it already. I've seen it in local environmental groups. I've seen this stuff happening. Yeah, then it happened to Paul Watson 2 times. So he founded his own personal organization. But this time, every good things are 3 in the fairy tales. The Paul Watson Foundation. This time, it is not democratic. People asked for it, they got it, okay? It cannot be democratic, because then the same thing will happen again, and again, and again, and again. Okay. That is what happens with the human species. Okay. They murder their wives, they cash in on life insurance, they set their homes on fire so that they can cash in on fire insurance, buy land, build a better house with that money, right? Yeah, that's how it works. And much worse, much more sinister stuff that's happening because of the corporate agenda, okay, that are creating. They're actually creating religions and cults like ISIS and Black Lives Matter. They create a corporate agenda. Trust me on this. The very Illuminati people on the very top of the pyramid, the types that really know a thing or two about finances, those types. Yeah, they're very good at it, but they're not very good at ethics. No. They're not very good at compassion. So they brew up all kinds of stuff. They create pandemics so that they can sell you pharmaceutical drugs, right? A pandemic can serve 3 corporate venues. It can sell you pharma drugs, that's the number 1 reason. The other one, it sells you medical face masks. It sells you panic. And it sure tries to get you away from Donald Trump. But it didn't work. My goodness, it backfired. So, no, Donald Trump has more support than ever before, because obviously the majority of people they seem to get it now. It seemed to be dawning on them now, right? It took a long time, but it finally dawns. That's why Friedrich Nietzsche has written a book with the title Morgenröte, which means the red of dawn. Hopefully it dawns on people now when they read his book. So I think he had something like this up his sleeves when he wrote that book. He would do these kind of things. He would say these kind of things. That's why he was hated. A lot of egos in the world hated him. And not only then, not only over 100 years ago, they still hate him for the same reasons. And they insinuate all kinds of things into his books, into his agenda, things that are not true. Okay. It's all a lie against. The slander keeps coming against Friedrich Nietzsche. Posthum, nauseum ad infinitum. Okay, it will be coming endlessly, with endlessly more variations of slander and propaganda against Friedrich Nietzsche. And the public, most people will buy into it, seems like. But he is popular in some circles. He is. So thank goodness. Thank you for all of these people that understand what Friedrich Nietzsche is all about. He's about inwardness, meditation, checking yourself out, and he is for what he always said. He said he shreds himself into pieces and burns himself into ashes. And then he will arise anew as the phoenix out of the ashes. Kind of like a resurrection with Jesus Christ. So maybe Jesus Christ has talked about this same thing when he talked about the resurrection, all in a totally metaphorical sense, but people will read this and buy into it, hook, line, and sinker, as if it was for real. Then people, they will paint paintings. Raphael wasn't there when that happened. That resurrection, Raphael was there 1,500 years later. Raphael the painter, in 1500, around 1500. Okay. During the Stone Age, during the Dark Ages, the medieval era, Raphael in Italy, one of the great artists in Italy, in Rome. Raphael painted that, the most remarkable painting in the whole world, the most remarkable painting that has ever been done. I don't know if he had a last name, but he went by the name Raphael. Italian painter. He started as a child and he became perfected. He has made sculptures out of marble, and a beautiful, beautiful man he made. I believe Raphael liked men, and that's perfectly okay. Yes, you know that. And so he made this statue of David, the real, the giant, the beauty, the Adonis of the most amazing Mecca of art. A beautiful, beautiful sculpture of a naked man with an ivy leaf, I believe, in front of his genitals. Oh, I made ivy tea today. I put some pubic hair of the statue of David into it, just to give me extra power. Now, Raphael, he was very serious. He wasn't giggling about this. Raphael, and he also was standing under time pressure, so he had to complete certain contract projects that he was assigned to. Okay, so for different very, very wealthy people, I believe probably for the Medici family as well, certain frescas or frescae, I don't know how you call the plural of it. A fresca is a wall painting and a ceiling painting. Frescoes in chapels and in cathedrals and in castles. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. But the most amazing art that he has ever created is the Transfiguration of Christ. And that hangs in the Vatican. That's probably the most expensive painting that exists on this planet. I'm sure it is. And they're not going to let go of that. They're clinging to that. The mafia is clinging to that. They hold on to that. They're not going to let go of that. They know the value of that, inside and out. And I hope they know the value psychologically. I hope they have some kind of love for that painting. And not just some kind of criminal, possessive feeling for that artwork, which most criminals, they do what they go into a museum, they call that a heist. They go in there, they escape from the radar, from any kind of radar detection and any kind of light beams, laser beams that would set off the alarm. They know exactly how to meander around it and do some rock climbing, get a very expensive painting of Van Gogh. They don't even care about that artwork at all. So this one guy, Pinocchio, he hired a heister that went into a museum making a video, an art video. And I saw a documentary on that, and he got this artwork, got it. It didn't fit into his backpack, so he tethered it around his waist, and then he slumped down. The artwork broke partly in the corner. What the heck? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to him. So he ran off with it, got away, and then he hid that artwork in the kitchen of that mafia guy Pinocchio. That's his mafia con artist name. Okay, in his mother's kitchen. So nobody even cared, gave any crap about this painting. It was just put behind some kind of dresser. This expensive painting of one of the great Belgian artists, impressionist artists. They don't care at all. He would leave it there for good, because he only uses that as sort of like a collateral blackmail type of leverage. I have that painting, so you better not catch me, or the painting will be destroyed, or something like that. So, and then the museum, they don't want that painting to be destroyed, and then they're kind of easy, he can do a plea bargain once he's caught. But his Pinocchio nose grows very, very long, this long, a foot long, my goodness. A foot long Pinocchio nose of this Italian jock guy. He thinks he can have anything he wants. He even has rich parents. He doesn't need to do this shit. But he does anyway, because it's like James Bond, It's the extra hobby, the extra excitement. So if he gets caught, he'll do a plea bargain, and he'll say, here, I won't destroy the painting. Here's the painting. Go, it's in my mother's kitchen. It's sitting there in the dust. Rats have already peed on it. The male rats have peed on it sideways and all of that. The frame is broken because the heister didn't give a crap about it while he was doing his rock climbing. And so, yeah, the museum wants that art piece back, that beautiful, amazing masterpiece painting. And Pinocchio gets a much milder sentence. It all makes me very mad. Yeah, trust me, it makes me very angry when I see this. These things make me so angry, then I wished I hadn't watched the documentary film, but whatever. So, my brother fell hook, line, and sinker for someone like that Pinocchio, if not that Pinocchio himself. And Pinocchio's pimp gold digger girlfriend, one of the 50 that he has. So, yeah, it is a pity, but whatever. It's not my problem anymore. I moved on. Yes, I did. What do you need the money for? That's a good question. I'm not that into money like you are. No, I like this here much better than money. I like love better than money. And ethics. Signing petitions for the animals I like better than money. Yeah, protecting my baby dog, it's all more important than money. So, yeah, I make my own sweaters. They're priceless, okay? They're beyond money. They're beyond the radar of money. But Pinocchio can't think that far, unfortunately, and the vast majority of humans can't. Okay? That's why they put money over their wives. That is what's happening, okay? They put money over world peace. They'd rather have money than world peace. It's the truth. That's the majority of people, okay? But, obviously, the majority of people in the United States now understand that it's either Donald Trump or a complete collapse of the United States as we know it. So what would you rather have? The collapse of the Biden diapers? The collapse of the convalescent homes? Let's raid the convalescent home. Let's steal Joe Biden's diapers. No, thank you. You can have them. I'm not interested. Total collapse with a tribal system, with extreme warfare, tribal system warfare, Black Lives Matter taking your homes. Okay. Yeah, you can have that happening. Or you can vote for Donald Trump. And let's fix all of that, right? I mean, it's your country. It's up to you. So I think the majority of people, they get it now. But the Rothschilds, they don't care. The Rothschilds, they can move on. They can go to another country. They own the whole world. They can go to Europe. They can go to Italy, to Rome. They can buy the Vatican. They can have the Transfiguration of Christ, okay, by Raphael. I mean, they can really, literally buy anything. They buy you, Philip Jones. They already have you in their pocket for a long time. Yeah, it is. It is sad, all of that. It's all sad. But, Mama Nicola moves on. I want to cut that Pinocchio nose off. Pinocchio. And sell it. Sell it on the black market. Let's do that. Sell little pieces of that Pinocchio nose instead of deer antler soup. That'd be better. More effective also, let's not even get into what I'm talking about here. You research that for yourself. But anyway, it is what it is. It is sad. It's a sad state of affair. That is what it is. Because J.D. Rockefeller, he said it. Every man has his price. He knew it. He saw it. I mean, he was dealing with that every single day of his life. The only people that even talked to him, the only reason why they talked to him is because they thought they could have some of his wallet and some of his bank account. I feel sorry for J.D. Rockefeller. In retrospect, posthum, yeah. It must not have been such a pleasant life. Sometimes it's better to not have money and be liked for your art that you create. Yeah. But really liked for your art. And your art really liked for your art. And not because it has suddenly arisen in value artificially on that ridiculous mafia art market. Okay. No, my artwork has real value. This is real collateral. This is not just some Damien Hirst shit, okay, that I'm making. Or any of the copycats of Damien Hirst. It's sad. I'm sure not everything is bad that Damien Hirst did. I'm not generalizing all of it, but he's done some unethical shit, okay, and I call him out for that. I really do. Violence is not art. He's lost my respect, even if he changes his style. And he did. He changed his style. I guess he got a lot of shit from people at some point. I hope he did. But there's an artist out there, he made a whole art sculpture room with white chocolate. Now, that is a notch better than putting cows into a resin, which I am really, if I was president, I would have him arrested for that. But the guy with the white chocolate sculptures, I would invite him over for dessert. And you know what I'm going to eat. His artwork. For dessert. His white chocolate statue of David. I don't think he made a statue of David out of white chocolate, but he made other stuff. That's very nice, very neat. But then again, if it contains milk, if it contains animal products, then I'm against it. Only if it's white chocolate that is made out of white kaolin clay and a little bit sodium bentonite clay and some sand and Play-Doh. But then you can't eat it. No, that wouldn't work. But I don't like that making art out of food. So in general, that's not good. But it's better than what Damien Hirst did. So much better. So yeah, I have my preferences. I cherry pick between the artists, and I will declare one art and the other one not. One is hot, the other one is not. Okay, and I have the right to do this because I am my own empress. Yeah, and you could be too. Philip Jones. You missed out. You could be your own empress. But you refuse to. Yeah, that's a bummer. You refuse to. You prefer to work for the mafia. You prefer to be a market slave. That's sad. Makes Mama sad to see that. Why? Why? Doesn't make sense. If you could think for yourself and say no to Islam and no to the mafia, the people that are really good with the bank accounts, that are running Islam, that they are running ISIS, they're running Black Lives Matter, they're running all of that. They're running people like you as tools, and in a very, very roundabout way, it then funnels the shit into their bank account. That's how it works. Yeah, they create division and then they come up with the solution for you, which is not good, but everyone would take it out of despair, right? So, I don't trust most dictators that are rising now here and there. I don't know if I can trust Peter Fitzek. I don't know if I can trust him. I mean, but what he has to offer is better than the alternative. That's for sure, there's no doubt about it. But then he might at some point become the complete emperor of Germany, and then he might become a Kim Jong-un. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm leaning towards believing him. I really do, by 80%. But you never know. He looks a little bit conniving, that man. He does. But but maybe he's for real. So I don't know. And there are some people that wanted to create this here in the United States as well. These kind of things don't work at all. I don't think it works. Unless someone has something up their sleeves and the government is catering into it as some kind of plot, so that there can be a complete takeover happening at some point without resistance. So it doesn't even require a revolution. It's a very slow revolution. And at some point, like what happened with Adolf Hitler also, very slow takeover. They lost the First World War. Germany was finished. So financially, they had inflation. So someone comes in and says, I know what to do. And then, even if that person, let's say that person is not even evil, but the people that are working all around that person, they are very corrupt. So then it becomes something very sinister. The entire situation snowballs into something highly corrupt. And corruption will use any kind of venue, anything. They will use any kind of dictator, any kind of political system, democracy. We've seen it now. We've seen it all. Records were quoted Benjamin Franklin, who said, democracy is the worst of all systems, except for all the other ones, meaning democracy is still the best, so let's use it, I don't see it that way at all, not at all. Blue God agrees. And all the animal angels agree. 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay. And 4455. Okay. The angels agree. All of them. The animal angels, the humanoid angels, the ET humanoid, the ET four-legged ones, the octopus ETs, all of them agree with this. The blue god, the infinite, agrees. Okay. With what I'm saying. This is not something I am just fabricating. It's the truth. This is an absolute, this is spot on, accurate synchronicity that's happening here. And that's nice. I really enjoy that. And this ear here, it feels so good. It feels so heavenly. Oh, like a very, very precious gem that it is. Okay, very precious gem. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if I was the empress of the world, which I would like to be, I will outlaw life insurance and I will outlaw all insurance. All insurance companies, corporations, I will put them out of business from one moment to the next, overnight. Okay, I'll sign this into effect that this is outlawed. And I will outlaw gambling too. All gambling, casinos, everything shut down. And then I will use whatever, all of these outdated institutions that have their real in-person space and buildings. I will transform those buildings into homeless shelters for homeless people so that they can bring their animals, and for battered women so that they can bring their dogs and their cats and guinea pigs and all beings. Okay. So to have massive, massive space freed up for all of these beaten down people. And then we can make something amazing out of it. We can create closed up sanatoriums out of it, where they can't just come and go as they want. They sleep there and then they go out to their drug dealer. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. Okay? When things don't work, change your approach, said Tony Robbins. So they have to be closed. Okay? But there will be so huge. And there will be so much space freed up because the casinos are shut down. Right? The people that have their ice cream vendor stores in there, and even the Gucci stores, maybe they can keep their business going in there. It will be patrolled by robots and drones, so that, people, we will even have our monetary system in there, but a new one. We will have Dogecoin in there. Okay, then people can even go and buy something, but this will be a different world. Okay. Then, of course, we have the world outside of these sanatoriums. And that's the world for the people that choose peace instead of violence. Okay, the non-violent people that live out there, and they can buy maybe some stuff cheap and something that was made obsolete, like a hospital, for example, or a school, like an actual in-person architect-built school. Some people that are non-violent, they can buy that. people be able to buy Fort Bidwell for a low price. Something like this, So, and maybe they can, some investor can restore Fort Bidwell so that it doesn't completely collapse and be eaten by bugs and weather and so on. I want to see Fort Bidwell, the fortress, to be restored, not to the original, because that obviously it doesn't work, with conventional roofs. The outside masonry is made out of boulders and rocks. Unbelievably amazing architecture. That John Bidwell hired a real brilliant architect to build this, and it is classic and it's stylish up to this day. But the roof collapsed. There's an owl who lives in there in the upper story. When we went over there, that the first thing, Mother Owl was getting scared when we came there. Paul and I, we were in between dogs, and real large, I believe a spotted owl, like some kind of off-white with some little gray spots like freckles. Huge owl. Mother Owl came out of that upper window that was broken with a very concerned look on her face, coming out of there fast, storming out of that window, flying out there into the sagebrush and into the horizon trees. Like, oh my goodness, who dares to come onto her property? And I felt bad. I was like, Owl, I didn't know you lived there, So let's just do a quick tour and head back to the van so that Mother Owl can go back to her nest and feed her babies, right? So that's the most important. But obviously, those nests, when there are collapsing old antique buildings and there are animal nests, you have to make sure that the babies hatch, that they get all out there first, and then you have to take the remaining nests. Sometimes it may be an eagle's nest, a real huge one. So there was one near the police station, and that was all sad because the police didn't want the eagle's nest there. I wonder why. They didn't want people to come there and film. I wonder why. Paranoid or something. So they had the eagle's nest, humongous thing that was like, that eagle's nest is bigger than me. It's as big as my bed here. They took this eagle's nest and they brought it somewhere else, and then they created a post that fans out, and I think they put that eagle's nest into like a fake post that is really tall for the eagles to go into, instead of go into a tree near the city area where there are other people and too much commotion anyway for the birds. So, but if you have a collapsing old antique building like the fortress of Fort Bidwell, then what someone needs to do is, right now it's in the possession of the Native American tribe, the tribal land. So, but they don't do anything with it. So, and if nobody does anything with it, it will collapse, and this antique, very precious building is gonna become a ruin and will crumble completely, and then it will never be restored. So someone needs to go there right now before it's too late. It's already falling apart very badly. They have like some kind of red orange tape around it with signs that said don't go into that. It's a danger. It's a hazardous place. People can get hurt, because what if something falls off the masonry and falls on someone's head, or the roof falls on someone's head? So it's obviously raining into it, and the weather is destroying it. So what needs to happen? Someone needs to buy it, but someone really, really wealthy, and they need to have everything taken away, the roofing stuff, the roofing beams, the rotten termited beams, all the termited wood particles, all has to be hauled away, and they have to completely restore the masonry wall that is on the outside all the way around the fortress. And the windows, all of that has to be removed, and all of that has to be gutted. All of the organic stuff, the carbon-based things have to be removed and then completely cleaned. And an architect, there's a really great architect in Ashland. His name's Highland. I don't know if he's German, but that's a German name. Highland means the savior, actually. And so I dedicate this to Highland. Highland, you will be if I was president, of course, which is all illusionary, but in my illusionary fantasy snapshot idea, you are casted into the role of the savior of Fort Bidwell. And then what, of course someone has to pay. This is humongously expensive, Someone has to pay Highland at least $10 million, right? At least, if not $100 million. And then the contractors, they have to be paid and all of that. And that's going to cost a lot of money. But, there are many different ways to spend the money on the restoration. You can go really ritzy with it. You can put petrified rock tiles on the inside. The energy would be blasting if you do this, But obviously that'd be off the charts expensive. That would cost $1 billion or more even to get that done. But yeah, we have to have a billionaire to buy this, or to buy it from the native tribe and this entire property of the fortress, and then restore it and make this a monument. Okay, make that a visitor center, but the best visitor center that you have ever seen, and an educational center, a historic marker. Okay, and yeah, it will have educational function. There will be classes in there, art classes. There will be maybe even college classes. There will be environmental classes, environmental stewardship, and all of that, can be taught. We can make something amazing out of that will really serve the community. I don't know if the people in Fort Bidwell would want this, because I think a lot of them, they're like, leave me alone. I'm coming from LA. I want to be left the frick alone. I don't want to say the F word. So I just want to be left alone. Or some people from Oakland that fled there, like, my gosh, I just found my safe haven, peaceful haven. Leave me the heck alone with all of this. We don't want any more tourism here, and then bring the whole world over there, and then there next thing there will be some kind of supermarket, and we thought we had found our peaceful, dusty safe haven. So But, I don't know. It's just a fantasy. I don't know if this can ever be implemented. But I would suggest, so if I was, for example, if I was in charge of the design, the exterior interior design of this restoration project, I would have the architect install an Elon glass dome roof. And this Elon glass dome roof will also be plastered with Elon Musk solar panels that are translucent. They could, I don't know, they could be embedded in the Elon glass so that they will be protected from the weather. So you have like 2 layers of Elon glass and the solar panel sheets in between. We can create an entire dome with that and run everything on solar panels, of course. Have really, really large lithium, or no, have really large saltwater batteries that are completely storm-proof and weatherproof, and they are completely destruction-proof. Those saltwater batteries that this is a real large property with a real large fortress, and it looked like I have dreamed about this before. When we first got there, I felt like, oh my goodness, this looks familiar. This looks like something I've seen before in my dreams. And then the other day, I was looking at something on the internet, and there was another old building that I have seen before in my dreams. I've also seen some historic buildings in Prague, which is all the way around the globe. I've never been to Prague, Czech Republic. I have seen some of those historic buildings from like 1600 in my dreams. I have walked through there. I've walked onto the roof in my dream. I've seen incredible stuff in that dream. They have masonry that you cannot even imagine, with chiseled horses out of marble and cement that are standing on top of the roof. And in my dream, one of the horses, actually a horse with wings that an artist created. That horse was starting to open the wings and starting to fly off in my dream. Sometimes I have amazing dreams that are really, really out of this world. So, but yeah, I had the feeling that I had a dream about Fort Bidwell long time ago, before I ever heard about it. So when we first drove down that highway and I saw the fortress way afar, I said, just keep on going a little bit further. I just want to see what that is, that fortress. And I'm so glad we drove further. That was so interesting to see that fortress. So, and I have a very strong affinity, a very strong love, very deep love to that place. And I'm sure there's even geothermal activity underneath. There are hot water wells and rivers deep down in the ground that could be tapped into, to create a spa with that. But something for the public, but that's something that's very, very protected. Not something that people go there and throw their trash. Something that is guarded, but for the public, for people that behave themselves. So, people will probably have to pay $50 to see this place, So that will weed out a lot of party types. That will weed out a lot of trashy homeless people that don't know how to clean up after themselves. Or people that maybe do vandalism or something like this, it will weed these people out. So only people that are really into architecture, into antique buildings, into historic sites, into art, into the finer things of life. They have also a larger wallet, so they can go in and they can spend the whole day there for $50, including using the spa. So something like this, or pay $100. I don't know. I know. I'm just thinking about this because there's so many things we can do with this. Amazing stuff we can do with it. So have this Elon glass solar panel dome roof that is absolutely storm resistant and leak resistant and everything, weather resistant, and not built with wood, not put any wood in it, don't ever use wood for anything, not even for cabinets or for indoor furniture or something like this. So I saw some really remarkable furniture the other day, and I want to give a huge shout out on my channel that has 10 views for this amazing woman. Her name is Donatella Versace. She has created the most amazing garden chairs in the whole world. Absolutely. She gets my 100 stars for those garden chairs. Those are Medusa. I identify with that very much. Those are Medusa outdoor garden chairs. They come in different colors and they are made out of some kind of polyester, some kind of plastic material that is obviously weatherproof. So these garden chairs, they are stunning and stellar. Check them out. Donatella Versace garden chairs. Okay. So now they go so much in the direction of what I have already invented many years ago. I was shocked and stunned and delighted to see that Donatella Versace has similar creative ideas as I have, and vice versa. So that's really cool. I like her design. I love her design. I think she's Italian. She is definitely a creator. She's an artist. She's a real cool designer. She's not just someone who has taken on her brother's business and to move it forward, in the best way possible. No, not just in the best way possible, but in her own unique, stellar way. She is a complete equal to Gianni Versace, okay, in her art. And that's the truth. And I would say she's probably the best fashion designer there is in the whole world. I love Vivienne Westwood. I love her work. She's very environmental, animal rights, so she gets my 100 stars for that. So she also is highly creative, Vivienne Westwood. So these are my two favorites, for sure. And they are both women. They are my two favorites. So, but from the contemporary ones, the ones that are still here on this planet, Donatella Versace gets my highest badge of honor. Okay, so I don't like the word honor, but my highest badge of art. So my highest prize that I give her for the best clothes, the best accessories, and now these amazing garden chairs with the Medusa face on it. Incredible. So I had very similar ideas. I wanted to make, I grew up with modern art and modern architecture and modern design. And I'm deeply grateful for my dad. He is the one. My dad's an architect. He has introduced me from day one of my life to all of this. That was part of our world. I thought this is how everyone lives, but I later found out that's not how everyone lives. So most people, when I talk about art, they don't even know what I'm talking about, So when one time we looked at RVs. We wanted to buy a motorhome. And these motorhomes, they were also incredibly tacky. The interior and everything, so tacky. And I thought, why are they so tacky? Why don't they have better taste? And I complained to one of those salespeople. And that guy took terrible offense. So later on, I thought, I offended him. That's why he was so vicious to me. So then he said, if you want something more, because I didn't know how to word myself at that time. I said, I want something that is more like, I didn't even know the word streamlined. I said I wanted something, I didn't want it tacky. I didn't want so much embroidery in it. So he took me to another motorhome that was just cheaper, but the same style, right? So I didn't ask for a cheaper motorhome. I asked for a stylish motorhome. I didn't have that. That was a long time ago. I didn't have all of this vocabulary yet. So I was like trying to find words to describe my taste. So not all of this knick-knack, like embroidery stuff. That would maybe be good if it's really antique from 1600, but not a remake. Like my mother used to call it Gelsenkirchener Barock. It's like newly made furniture that are made in the exact same style as 1600, 1500. Today, I let people do what they want to do. That's perfectly fine. It's just not exactly my style. I like everything futuristic. That's my style. And, some old castles, they really have their beauty with these antique things in it. Absolutely. But I would not want to have antique furniture, and particularly not remakes of the antique furniture. So Jeff Koons started out with the artist Jeff Koons. He started out having his artwork made in Gelsenkirchen, in Germany, where they make these remakes of old styles, which my mother hated so much, and my dad. They always made fun of that. So then they made fun of Jeff Koons because they thought, oh, that's all he does. He has like Mickey Mouse and stuff that other people have already created, or some kind of tacky furniture remade and made right there where they're good at it. And that's his art, and they were all very upset about this in whole Europe, particularly in Germany, very upset about Jeff Koons. How dare he do this, that throws such a stain into the art world, Later on, I had to study him, because the more I saw, the more I was mesmerized by his work. And he later had a real good influence on Damien Hirst. So I'm glad they're friends. I'm glad that Jeff Koons has a great influence on Damien Hirst, has probably saved Damien Hirst's life, psychologically and physically and artistically. So, not in the sense that Damien Hirst copied him, but he inspired him in the right direction. So, and sometimes artists do this, and I think Jeff Koons has what it takes to be an artist therapist. Not just an art therapist, but an artist energy therapist. So that guy is mega. Really, really mega. Mega. There's no other word to describe him. So another great artist is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is an amazing artist, painter. Really, really cool. So he's dedicating his retirement life now to art. That's really, really big shout out to all of these people. Incredible. So, but I want to end the video now. There are amazing people out there. There are very, very inspirational people out there. People just need to know where to look for them. So, look at those amazing garden chairs by Donatella Versace. Okay, they will make you happy. Okay, peace and love for all living beings.